At first glance, your garden may look peaceful, clean, and under control. But the closer you look, the more you realize something is quietly taking over. Weeds do not appear randomly. They find the weakest places in your yard. The biggest mistake is thinking that removing the leaves means the weed is gone. If the root is still alive, you have not killed the weed. You have only delayed its return.
To stop weeds for real, you need 3 different solutions for 3 different zones.
The plan is simple. Remove the root, block the light, and close the empty spaces. Let's start with the place most homeowners get wrong first, the lawn. With deep-rooted weeds, pulling by hand often removes only the part you can see.
Some weeds send a taproot deep into the ground, and even a small piece left behind can grow again.
That is why the same weed can come back in the same place again and again. The correct move is not to pull harder. It is to remove the whole root.
Slide the tool down beside the root, stay close to the base, and lift slowly.
When the entire root comes out, the life cycle is finally broken. The difference is not how hard you pull. The difference is what you leave underground. But when weeds spread across the whole lawn, one by one removal is no longer enough. At that point, the problem is no longer one weed. It is an entire surface trying to take over. If you use any lawn weed control product, choose one made for lawns and read the instructions carefully. Never apply it in wind, never before rain, and never use more than the label allows. Over time, the weeds weaken, and the healthy grass gets a chance to reclaim the open space.
But here is the hidden reason many weeds return. The lawn is being cut too short.
When grass is scalped too low, sunlight reaches the soil and weed seeds wake up. A weed seed does not need much. It needs light, open soil, and a little moisture. Raise the mowing height and stop cutting the lawn down to the soil. A taller, thicker lawn creates its own shade, and that shade blocks the next wave of weeds.
After weeds are removed, never leave bare dirt behind.
Fill that space with grass seed before weeds claim it again. A repaired bare patch is not just prettier. It is one less doorway for weeds. With lawns, the goal is not only to kill weeds. The goal is to grow grass strong enough to defend itself. Now we move to the second zone: patios, walkways, and cracks between pavers. Here, the problem is different. You are not trying to feed grass. You are trying to remove the place weeds use to anchor. Every open joint becomes a tiny trap for dust, water, and weed seeds. The mistake is treating the patio exactly like the lawn, especially when plants you want to keep are nearby. For small weeds on hard surfaces, hot water can be a simple, direct option. Pour carefully into the crack and keep it away from lawns, flowers, vegetables, and any plant you want to protect. Heat weakens the plant quickly, and within a short time, the growth begins to collapse. For deeper roots, you need mechanical removal, not just surface damage. Do not remove only the leaves. Clear out the roots, the dust, and the organic debris.
If debris stays in the joint, you are leaving behind a perfect little seed bed.
Once the joints are clean, the whole patio changes before your eyes.
But removing the weeds is only half the job. If the gaps stay open, the problem can return.
An empty joint may look clean, but it is still an open invitation for the next seed. Wind brings the dust, rain holds it in place, and soon the cycle starts all over again.
This is why the most important prevention step is filling the joints.
Dry sand or polymeric sand helps close the spaces where weed seeds settle. Sweep diagonally across the joints so the material drops down inside, not just across the surface. If the sand sinks down, add more until the joint is packed evenly from top to bottom. If you use polymeric sand, mist it gently according to the instructions so it bonds without washing away.
As it dries, the joint becomes firmer, cleaner, and much harder for weeds to use.
A clean patio is not just better looking. It is easier to maintain, week after week.
But there is one more zone that quietly causes trouble: bare soil around the beds. Bare soil is an open door. It gives weed seeds light, space, and a place to start.
One small rain can wake up seeds that have been waiting quietly in the soil.
First, clear the small weeds early, before they become strong enough to fight back.
Where you do not need to plant immediately, cover the soil instead of leaving it exposed. Moistening the layer helps it hug the ground and block the light underneath. Then add mulch on top to create a natural shield against weed growth.
Keep mulch away from plant stems so they stay dry, healthy, and able to breathe.
Where light reaches the soil, weeds get a chance. Where the soil is covered, they struggle. Mulch also holds moisture, protects the soil from erosion, and keeps the garden looking clean. When a few new sprouts appear, remove them early while they are still weak.
You do not have to fight weeds every day if you stop giving them a place to begin.
Now each part of the yard has its own protection system. The lawn needs stronger grass. The patio needs closed joints. And bare soil needs cover. When you work in the right order, you stop chasing weeds and start removing the reasons they return. The key is to look for the cause: leftover roots, exposed soil, and open gaps. A thicker lawn blocks sunlight from reaching the soil, making it harder for weed seeds to germinate. A patio with filled joints holds less dust, less debris, and fewer places for weed seeds to settle. A covered bed protects the soil and lets the plants you want stand out. Remember this: pulling the leaves may make the yard look better for a moment, but the root decides what happens next. Closing the empty spaces is what keeps the problem from restarting.
Covering the soil takes away what weeds need most: light.
3 small changes can turn a frustrating yard into a cleaner, healthier, easier garden. Do not just pull weeds again and again. Remove the reason they keep coming back.
If your yard still has bare patches after removing weeds, comment BAR patch. In the next video, I'll show you how to bring thick green grass back fast.